What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with some more Thursday night NFL. Tonight we have the Seahawks taking on the Cardinals at home. Super excited for this game. I'm going to give you guys one of my favorite teasers for this game, as well as four of my favorite player props. So make sure you guys stick around to the end. If you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure you guys hit that sub button, and I'll see y'all in just a second. All right, guys, so before we jump into any of these picks, I do have to pick a winner from our last video, our Tuesday MLB video, to win a free month of VIP. Now, if you guys are watching, I did not have a baseball video for this morning. The reason being, the game started really early. There's nothing but baseball. Baseball's hit or miss right now, right before the playoffs. So kind of faded this slate for free picks because there wasn't anything I really just loved to play. So that being said, if this video gets 250 likes, I will pick a random comment down below to win a free month of VIP. Once again, we are about 120 subscribers from 35,000 subs. If we can hit 35K from this video, I'll pick two people from the video to win a free month of VIP. So that being said, drop a like, leave a comment. You do have to be subscribed to win, and let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. The winner is for Tizzle Baby, who said, "Are the Ravens washed?" And I see there's 3 comments and no likes. I don't think the Ravens are washed. Ravens look good still, man. Lamar had a bad game versus the Lions, personally. I thought he didn't look very good. He's not like the normal Lamar. Couldn't run the ball, got a little bit flustered. Obviously, Derrick Henry fumbling at the end sealed the game. I don't think the Ravens are washed at all. I think they're a great team. That being said, I do think they're making some mistakes, and if they want to make it into the play, I mean, obviously not into the playoffs, but if they want to make it far, they're going to have to clean some of that up. But don't think the Ravens are washed. Tizzle Baby, send me a message on Discord, and I'll get you added for that free month of VIP. If you guys do want to get all of our plays, link to our WAP is down in the description. $25 a month or $10 a week, and you'll get every single slip that I personally lock in, and you'll get every single play that our mods, community, there's a lot of things you get from our Discord. The Discord is free to join if you're not in there already. I will be dropping a free slip this week for NFL weekend and for college football. So make sure you guys are in our Discord if you're not already to get the extra free slip. And I do appreciate every single one of you guys. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about this game. So Seahawks taking on the Cardinals. Cardinals are plus 113 at home right now. Seattle is minus 1.5 point favorites. Total for this game sitting at a low 43.5. Public betting on this, 83% of the money is on the Seahawks to win, which is honestly kind of crazy to me. Then 74% of the money is minus 1.5, them covering the spread. 59% of the money is on the over on the total, which I'm kind of leaning the over on this too. But let's talk about these teams and how they've done so far this season and what I think is going to happen. So far this season, both teams sitting 2-1. So both have won 2 games, lost 1. Both teams actually lost to the same opponent versus San Francisco. The Niners just beat the Cardinals in their last game, and they beat the Seahawks in game 1. Both very close games, 17-13 and then 15-16. So very close games that could have went either way. Both teams have played against the Saints. Cardinals played the Saints in week 1, and the Seahawks just come off a victory 44-13 versus the Saints. Saints had a lot of turnovers in that last game for the Seahawks, or versus the Seahawks. I will say that score is a little bit inflated, but it was a butt whooping, man. They whooped up on the Saints, and the Saints lost by a touchdown versus the Cardinals. So both teams win. Looking at their second victory, you got the Steelers for the Seahawks, and then Carolina for the Cardinals. A very close game versus Carolina, and then Seahawks with a pretty dominant victory over the Steelers, a 2-touchdown victory. So me personally, based off of how they played so far, I think the Seahawks look good, man. I think the Seahawks are looking better, especially with the Cardinals missing James Conner. James Conner's set to sit this game, making the run game for the Cardinals obviously a lot weaker than it should be, and I think that's going to be a huge factor that we need to take into consideration for this game. Another thing we need to take into consideration is how these teams' offenses and defenses are kind of ranked so far this season. So right now, Seahawks are averaging 315 total yards of offense per game, which is 18th in the league. And then the defense for the Cardinals, they're giving up 340 yards on defense. So 23rd, bottom 10 defense in the league right now for the Cardinals. They've been struggling defensively. If we come down here and look at points per game, Seahawks are averaging 30 points per game, 29.3 to be exact. And then the Cardinals are ranked 5th in terms of points allowed. They're only giving up 17 points per game, which is looks good right there. But if you look at the amount of yards they're giving, man, they're still giving up a lot of yards. Seahawks ranked 5th, obviously, in offense in terms of points scored, scoring a lot of points. Some of this is inflated, a lot of turnovers from some of these teams. Haven't went against any stellar defenses other than San Francisco. San Francisco's got a pretty good defense. But that being said, let's take a look at the other side of things. So we got Arizona averaging 276 total yards of offense per game, 25th ranked offense, which is bottom 10. Then you look at the defense for the Seahawks, ranked 14th, 311 yards per game allowed. The league average right now is 318 per game. So everything looks better on paper for the Seahawks, especially considering both of these teams have played against similar opponents. Both have played against the Saints, both have played against the 49ers, and then they have a similar opponent in Carolina and the Steelers. I think the Steelers are better than Carolina, but Carolina had a dominant win in their last game, so who knows what's going to happen with them. Maybe they start showing out. If you look at total points scored by the Cardinals, it's 21 points per game, 20.7 to be exact, which is the 20th ranked offense in the league. And then if you look at the Seahawks, second ranked defense in terms of points allowed at 15.7 per game. So right now everything looks good on paper for Seattle to win. And my pick for the game, I'm honestly taking the Seahawks in this game. That's if I had to pick a money line right now, I'd take Seattle. I'm still going to play this in a teaser because I think this is a coin flip, man. Cardinals at home, it's not going to be a two touchdown game in my opinion. This is going to be close, even though they're missing James Conner. I think Kyler Murray is going to have a pretty good game. I think he's going to get some yards with his legs. I think that Seattle's going to struggle a little bit. I do think it goes over the tease total. 43.5, I don't know, man. I'm not sure if both teams can score over 20 points apiece, which is pretty much what you're going to need to cash this total unless one team just has a dominant victory, which I don't think is going to happen. Spread for this one, I'd take Seattle if I had to pick a team. I think Seattle covers both. That's just my opinion. I got the Seahawks winning. Now, if you don't like that, a teaser makes this a little bit more safe. So I'm not going to make a slip pop up on the screen just because I don't know 100% if this is what I'm going to lock in. And I'm going to put $500 or $600 on this slip. So I need to be sure that I like what I'm about to say I'm going to lock in. But for now, what I have is going to be Seattle plus 6.5. So I'm going to run an 8-point teaser. So I'm going to get 8 points for the spread and then 8 points for the total. So it's going to be Seattle plus 6.5 and then the over 35.5. That's what I'm going to run in this game. Probably put $600 on it. It's going to be minus 140 odds if we lock it in, if you guys do want to tell that. So that's what I'm going to lock in as of right now. I may change to maybe Arizona plus 9.5 or plus 8.5. and take the over on the total, maybe the under on 51.5 on the total, because that is a pretty high score total for these two teams that could end up being a low-scoring game. So I'm going to look into this a little bit further. I'm going to kind of see where the lines move. If I can get a better value somewhere, like maybe the total drops to 42.5, maybe I take it. But right now, most of the money's on the over. So maybe this goes up to 44.5 or 44, then we can get better value on the under. So I'm just waiting to see what these lines do. That way I can lock in the best slip that I find, or the slip that I find the best value. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. If you want to run Seahawks money line, I don't think that's a bad bet. I don't think Arizona plus 113 is a bad bet either, to be honest with you. I think this game could go either way, and that's why I like these teasers. They make it a little bit safer. But that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into some player props. So I got 4 props on Prizepicks that I like a lot. You can lock them in on parlay play as well. I will tell you guys right now, if you want a free month of VIP, you can sign up to any of our partnered apps down in the description. That's Chalkboard, Sleeper, Parlay Play, Underdog, Novig, Better, and Dabble. Any of those 7 apps get you a free month. You can get up to 7 full months for free if you sign up to all of them. And we'd love to have you guys a part of the community if you guys want to do that. Sam Darnold right now is a boosted line on Parlay Play. You can get him at 195.5 passing yards for a regular payout. If you guys do want to get this locked in, you have until tomorrow to lock it in. Use code FANTASYACES on Parlay Play. You can see I keep a decent sized bankroll in Parlay Play. I will refresh so people don't think I'm just lying. But anyways, if you guys do want to sign up with code FANTASYACES, you get $5 for free. If you deposit $10, you get another month. Same thing for Chalkboard. Chalkboard will give you $25 for free right now if you sign up using code FANTASYACES. Just sign up with our code. They give you $25. Send me a screenshot of it, and I'll get you guys added for a free month. That being said, let's talk about some of these plays. So I'm going to talk about my 2 regular lines and then my 2 discounted lines, and then we'll go from there. So the first one I like, we're going to talk about punts, man. This punt. So I've played 3 punt props so far this NFL season, and all 3 of them have cashed. This is the first season that I have ever bet on punts for the NFL. So, yes, this is new to me. They've been pretty consistent so far. Even if I miss this one, I'm still 3-1 on my punt props. So I'm happy with them. I think both of these kickers could end up punting 4 times. I really do. The 3.5 line is what I'm looking at for most of these. 4 gives a lot of push potential, so always keep in mind the line you're looking at. Anything over 4 is a decent amount. It depends on the team you're playing against, but 3.5 for these two teams I think is a good line. If you look at Michael Dixon, he's cashed it 2 of 3 games this season, and then if you look at Gillikin, he's cashed it in 2 of 3 this season. So he just had 5 punts versus San Francisco. The only team that he didn't punt 4 times against was Carolina, where he had 2 punts. I think Seattle's going to be able to get some stops on Gillikin. I do think that Arizona's going to get some stops on Seattle. I said stops on Gillikin, but you guys know what I meant. Stops on the Seahawks. I think it's going to be vice versa. I think you could pick either of these and they're going to cash. I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is a pretty defensive game. The only reason I'm taking the over is because I can get it at 35.5, so that total's pretty low. 36 points is really not a lot for two teams that have okay offenses. So that being said, let's go ahead and pull this up. I think I could pull Gillikin up right now. So Blake Gillikin, he is on here. Wow, 1.5 punts inside the 20. I didn't know that was a prop, but okay, it's on Prizepicks apparently. So that doesn't even have regular punts. I don't know why they do that. But that being said, guys, I'm going to take Blake Gillikin. That's the one I'm going to go with. Over 3.5 punts is the first pick of the day. I can't pull up anything to show you guys. And let me get this out of here. I can't pull it up on here to show you guys the stats or anything like that for the seasons, but you guys can see this season, 3 games. He's cashed it 2 of 3. He had 5 punts versus San Francisco. San Francisco has a good defense. We know that. Seahawks not allowing a lot of points either, so they're getting a decent amount of punts. You can run Dixon if you wanted to. He's cashed it 4 of his last 5, obviously. 2 of those will be from last season. You guys can use your best judgment on that. I'll probably end up playing both of them in a slip. Just throwing it out there. So that's going to be pick 1. Pick number 2, the regular line that I like, is going to be for our man Sam Darnold. 221.5 passing yards. I think he cashes this line. This is a popular play on Prizepicks. That being said, be careful with these popular plays on Prizepicks. Just throwing it out there. Charbonnet may be back in this game. He's listed as questionable, so let me pull this up. Sam Darnold, Seattle's quarterback for the ones who are new to NFL, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Sam Darnold is. Anyways, if you look at his games this season, he's averaging 221 on the dot so far this season. He had a 295 passing yard game versus the Steelers. He had a 218 passing yard game his last game where they scored 44 points. And you got to understand they blew the Saints out, so they're not going to run the ball, or they're going to run the ball more and try to milk the clock. They're not going to risk injury. They're just going to get out of there. If you look at Arizona's passing yards defense, they give up 264 passing yards per game. The 3rd-ranked defense in terms of passing yards allowed. So they do not have a good passing defense so far this season. If you look at Seattle's pass versus run rate, pass the ball 48% of the time, run the ball 52% of the time, but you got to say they have two pretty dominant victories. If this game stays pretty close, I think Sam Darnold is going to be airing the ball out. If we look at rush attempts so far this season, Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, 27 rush attempts, 38 for Kenneth Walker. If we click this, you can see Zach Charbonnet is questionable. After sitting out week 3 win against the Saints due to a foot injury, Charbonnet was listed as full on Monday's practice and then was able to pretty much log every snap on Tuesday's walkthrough. Despite the lack of limitations this week, he won't escape without designation ahead of week 4. So what they're saying pretty much is you won't know until about an hour and a half before the game Thursday whether or not Charbonnet is going to play. That is huge for this offense. I think he's going to play. Do I think he's going to be limited? He might be a little bit limited, so we'll see what happens. Not taking any Charbonnet props, but that's why I'm staying away from Kenneth Walker as well, because you don't know if there's going to be splitting snaps or anything like that. So I'm taking Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is going to be the safest play for this Seahawks offense. Like I said, I think this game stays close. I could see Arizona honestly leading the game a little bit and Darnold airing the ball out. I don't think this is going to be a dominant victory. So Sam Darnold at 221 is good. Obviously, if you want to play it on parlay play at 195.5, you can do that as well. That should be a pretty good play to take. And you can buy this down if you want to. You can take it wherever you want. I do think he covers his original line too. If you play these together, you have a 3X, but we also have 2 discounted lines we're going to take, and we'll probably split these 2 with a discount and have 2 double ups. So let's talk about prop number 3. Prop number 3 is going to be for our man Kyler Murray. I'm taking Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals quarterback. I'm taking him to give us 14.5 rushing yards. Now, I was very close to taking his 24.5 rushing yard, which is his original line. So let me find this. So his original line sitting at, I think it's 24.5 on Prizepicks. Let me confirm that real quick. So it's been bumped by 4 already. That's crazy. It was literally 24.5 just a minute ago. I'm going to take it at 14.5, or maybe it was 28.5. Maybe it was 28.5. I'm taking it at 14.5 if you guys want to tell. At 28.5, I don't dislike this line. He's cashed it all 3 games this season. He's averaging 36 rushing yards per game this season. If you look at Seattle's rushing defense, they give up 90 yards per game on average, which is the 7th-ranked defense in the league. Versus quarterback, they give up 10 yards per game, 5th-ranked defense. You have to take that with a grain of salt because you have to look at the teams that Seattle have played so far this season. The Saints, the Niners, and what was the third team they played? Saints, Niners, and Steelers. So how many scrambling quarterbacks do you see there? Brock Purdy. Anyways, yeah. Anyway, not a whole lot of scrambling going on between those 3 quarterbacks. But anyways, take this with a grain of salt. I think Kyler Murray could possibly cash the 30. I don't trust it enough. With James Conner out, I like it, but I don't trust it enough to lock it in. That's why I ended up buying it down to 14.5. So if you want to play it at 14.5, you can. This is going to be a 3.75x, and I do like Kyler Murray to give us at least 15 rushing yards. I think that was pretty safe. Last season, his rush yards, if you put him at 15, he cashed it 12 of 17 games, which is a 71% hit rate. Cashed it 1 of 2 versus Seattle, so do what you want with that information. But that being said, pick number 4, I'm taking is going to be Jason Myers. I'm taking Jason Myers. This is the kicker for Seattle, and I'm taking him to give us 1.5 PAT. So this is going to be extra points. Is it on here? Yes, it is. So over 1.5 extra points. He's cashed it 2 of 3 games this season. He had 5 versus the Saints, 4 versus the Steelers. I think he gets at least 2 tonight. I don't think this is going to be a game to where Cardinals can keep them from scoring 2 touchdowns, which is why I like the over on this as well. You can come over here. We can go to PATs made. Jason Myers. It's going to be a green goblin on here, and you can see this gives us a 5x for play all 4. If you want to do it that way, you can. You can break these up into 2-man combinations. You can have Darnold and Murray, or Gillikin with Myers, or Darnold with, you can't do Darnold with Myers. So you have to do it that way. You got to play the Seattle and the Cardinals players together, so that way it lets you make the slip. But I like all these plays, guys. I think all 4 of these are going to cash. I'm super excited about this game tomorrow. We can see if we can find. I wonder if Gillikin is on here. He's not. Myers should be on here. Do they have extra points? They have kicking points. I'm not going to play this on prize or on parlay play, I don't think. So I'm not going to lock in a slip live on parlay play just because they don't have the same value. We can do Sam Darnold and then do like Kyler Murray or something like that. Kyler Murray rush yards at 15. This gives us a 2x if we lock in. I think this is a boosted line, so it might not. Yeah, 10 is the max I can play. So there's you a free slip. If you take your $5 free bet for sign up with Fantasy Aces, you can lock this in. I think it's going to cash us. You get the free pick from Darnold with 15 for Kyler Murray. I think it's a pretty safe play, to be honest with you. And I'm probably going to lock it in for a regular line. So we'll type Kyler Murray. We're going to lock this in again. I'm actually going to put a full unit on this one. That way it actually makes me some money if it cashes. So $250 to win 500 place. We'll come over here to track picks. I'll refresh the page so you can see it's legit. Put your money where your mouth's at. That's the way I say it. And then Darnold and Murray right here locked it in, 2 of the free plays. I can't lock in the other one. I'm going to lock it in. I'll lock in Gillikin with Myers. It will be a slip that I lock in. So just know that I'm going to do that. It'll be posted in my Discord. So if you guys want to be a part of the Discord, links down in the description. Would love to have you in there. But that's what I got for today, guys. Those are my 4 picks with my teaser. Lock them in if you like them. Fade them if you don't. Always trust your gut. I'm not going to hit 100% of the time, obviously. We've been doing very good in the free picks, but obviously we have some misses that should cash, and hopefully we can have us a good day tomorrow. But anyways, see y'all in tomorrow's video, and I hope you have a great day.